Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, for 1 year as we read through St. Faustina's diary. Join me, Amy Thomas, each day for a short reading out of the diary which brought us a deeper understanding of Christ's divine mercy. Catholic pilgrims, welcome back to day 15 of our reading from St. Faustina's diary. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. My microphone picks up a lot of things, but the Muslim call to prayer is going on right now. It happens 5 times a day. For those of you who maybe don't know, I currently live in Izmir, Turkey, which is on the western coast of Turkey, right on the Aegean Sea. My husband is here for a 1-year assignment. He's in the Air Force. And Turkey is a predominantly Muslim country. So 5 times a day we get the Muslim call to prayer. And, it's always a good reminder that I can say my prayers too. So I don't know if you can hear it, but my microphone may pick it up. So if you do hear it in the background, that's what that is. So today we're going to be reading from Notebook 1, 42 and 43. I know that doesn't seem very long, but to try to keep a sense of flow, I limited it to those 2, and 42 is a little bit longer. So that's why only those 2 today. So we will get started. Once on Christmas Day, I felt the omnipotence and the presence of God surrounding me. And once more I fled from this interior meeting with the Lord. I asked Mother Superior for permission to go to Józefínek to visit the sisters there. The Superior gave us permission, and we started to get ready right after lunch. The other sisters were already waiting for me at the door of the convent while I ran to my cell to get my cloak. On my way back, as I was passing close to the little chapel, I saw Jesus standing in the doorway. He said to me, "Go ahead, but I am taking your heart." Suddenly, I felt that I had no heart in my chest. But the sisters were scolding me for lingering behind, saying that it was already getting late, so I quickly went along with them. But a sense of uneasiness troubled me, and a strange longing pervaded my soul, though no one knew what was happening except God. After we had been at Józefínek for only a few minutes, I said to the sisters, "Let's go back." The sisters asked for at least a moment's rest, but my spirit could find no peace. I explained that we must return before dark, and inasmuch as we had quite a distance to go, we immediately returned home. When Sister Mother Superior met us in the hallway, she asked, "Haven't the sisters gone yet, or have they already returned?" I said that we had already returned because I did not want to be returning in the evening. I took off my cloak and immediately went to the little chapel. As soon as I entered, Jesus said to me, "Go to Mother Superior and tell her that you came back not in order to reach home before dark, but because I had taken your heart." Even though this was very difficult for me, I went to the Superior and I told her frankly the real reason why I had come back so soon, and I asked pardon of the Lord for everything that had displeased him. And then Jesus filled me with great joy. I understood that apart from God, there is no contentment anywhere. On one occasion, I saw 2 sisters who were about to enter hell. A terrible agony tore my soul. I prayed to God for them, and Jesus said to me, "Go to Mother Superior and tell her that those 2 sisters are in danger of committing a mortal sin." The next day I told this to the Superior. One of them had already repented with great fervor, and the other was going through a great struggle. Okay, so one thing I just wanted to kind of clear up, just so you know, Józefínek, I hope I'm saying that correctly, it actually means Josephine. It's a new house in their religious community. So they're wanting to go over there to visit this new house that has been built and see the sisters that are there. So just to clear that up, I wasn't quite sure exactly where she was wanting to go, so I had to go look that up myself. But this is a really interesting passage because Jesus says kind of some interesting things to her, and the way that she responds and the things that he has her do, I can only imagine how difficult some of these things are for her to do. And, whenever you read through somebody's diary, sometimes because they know what's happened, you miss bits and pieces of what's going on, and you don't quite get the continuity of how things happened, and so it doesn't always quite make sense. But I think what's happened here is she says, once on Christmas Day, I felt the omnipotence and the presence of God surrounding me. So God's omnipotence is his almighty power, his almighty authority, that he is everywhere, that he is just existence itself. So that was overwhelming her, and she was just surrounded by the greatness of God. And then she says, and once more I fled from this interior meeting with the Lord. Now, I haven't covered it before, but in some other readings, she talks about how she was praying and stuff like that, and she just felt like she had to get up and leave. And I think that's what's happening here. She's entered into this overwhelming kind of understanding and presence of the almightiness of God, and she wants to leave this meeting. And we don't exactly know why. Is it because she felt unworthy or inferior, or, as humans, we are inferior, and, we technically are unworthy to be in the presence of God, though he counts us worthy. But she doesn't exactly say why she wanted to leave, so we can only kind of, guess at that. What happens next is she's, maybe she was having a real moment with God, and it was, God was wanting to show her something, or there was just a awesome prayer time or something, and then she felt unworthy, and so she was like, you know what, I'm just getting out of here. And so she goes to see these other sisters in another convent. But as she's passing the door, Jesus says something that's very interesting. Go ahead, but I am taking your heart. And you're kind of like, what does he mean by that? And so she said, suddenly I felt that I had no heart in my chest. And then she just doesn't really, her heart is not into going to visit these other sisters. They get over there and she's like, yeah, we need to go back. And the other sisters are like, hey, wait, we just got here. Can we have a little bit of a rest? She's like, no, we got to get back before it's dark. So she kind of makes up an excuse to justify why they need to leave right now. And then she gets back home, and the Mother Superior's like, wait a minute, have you left yet? Are you already back? She's like, oh yeah, she lies, kind of. I mean, in a way, it's justifiable that she would want to get back before dark, but that's not the real reason. So she kind of, tells a white lie, and then she goes and visits with Christ, and he's like, you need to go tell Mother Superior the real reason why you came back. And tell her it's because I've taken your heart. Sometimes Jesus asks us to do things where you're just like, really? Are you really asking me to, because this is hard. Are you really asking me to do this? And he's like, yeah, I'm really asking you to do this. And again, this is another circumstance where I'm like, you can only imagine how that went down, going in to see Mother Superior, and, Mother Superior, I actually kind of lied to you in the hallway. The whole real reason I came back is because Jesus had taken my heart. Try to explain that one. Just, this woman, things that she goes through. But I think what to take from this is that whenever we run away from God, we are unsettled. Whether it's because we feel unworthy or inferior, or we've committed a great sin and we think, I got to run away from God so he doesn't see me. Kind of like Adam and Eve in the garden, maybe we'll hide and then he won't know I'm here. Whenever we run away from God, we never feel really good about it. We're always a little unsettled. And for whatever reason, the reason why she left this moment of being in the presence of God and feeling his omnipotence, and she didn't want to be in that interior moment anymore, and she walked away from it, Jesus obviously didn't want her to walk away from that. He didn't want her to walk away from him. And so, what does that mean for us? I think what it means is, and what she's meant to see from this is, apart from God, we cannot feel complete. It's as if our heart is gone. We are not whole. So we can run away, we can try to hide, we can pretend like everything's okay without God, we can try to ignore him and push him to the side and carry on with our lives. But when we do that, it's like our heart's gone, the lifeblood of us, and it's just going to leave us unsettled, wondering, not quite whole, and we just won't be ourselves until we return back to him. And so while this is just a very personal moment that she has, I think how it relates to all of us is that all of us at some time in our life, we've tried to just walk away from our meeting with God, whatever that may be. Maybe we left Mass, maybe we left church, maybe we're going to strike out on our own for whatever reason. But we never feel whole. I know this too, because when I was a teenager and in my early college years, when I didn't go to college at all, when I didn't go to church at all or do anything that had to do with my Christian faith, I did not feel good. I did not feel whole. And it was only until I converted to Catholicism and went to confession that I felt good again. Like I felt really good. So I think that's the lesson that we're meant to take, looking through her eyes. So I hope all of you are doing well out there, Catholic pilgrims. I hope you are enjoying this. This has already, only 15 days in, it's already been a huge blessing in my life. I look forward to it every day, which lets me know that when I answered God's call to do this, that it was the right thing to do. And so I may hit a patch where I'm like, I gotta go make another podcast. But right now, I am very energized doing it. And I'm learning so much, sharing what I learn with you guys. I hope it is blessing you as well. So I will see you back here tomorrow, Catholic Pilgrims, for day 16. Until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.